Let's talk about something that's, well, super uncomfortable. Feeling bloated, frustrated, or just plain stuck? It can seriously ruin your day. But here's the good news. The solution is probably already in your kitchen. So let's dive into a really clear, simple guide to get things moving again just by changing what you eat.
And hey, if you're feeling that way, you are definitely not alone. It's so common. And the most powerful tool you have to fix it? It's your diet. Now, this isn't about some complicated plan or weird, hard-to-find ingredients. Nope. It's all about a few key ideas that just help your body get back to doing what it's supposed to do naturally.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to break this down into 5 simple pillars. We'll start with high fiber. I call it the intestinal scavenger. Then we'll talk about why getting enough water is so important. After that, it's all about probiotics for your gut. Then, a surprising one, healthy fats. And finally, we'll wrap up with some simple lifestyle habits. Think of this as your complete toolkit for feeling better. All right, let's jump right in with pillar number 1, high fiber. You know, I love this idea of fiber as the intestinal scavenger because that's exactly what it does. It literally helps sweep everything through, keeping your whole system running clean and, efficiently.
So, how does it actually do that? Well, it encourages something called peristalsis. It sounds fancy, but all it means are those muscle contractions, kind of like waves, that move food through your system. You can think of fiber as the personal trainer for your intestines, yelling, "Come on, let's get moving." Okay, so what's the magic number? For most of us, the goal is somewhere between 25 and 30 grams of fiber every single day. Now it really seems to be the sweet spot for keeping everything on track. So just lock that number in your head, 25 to 30 grams. And you know what? Hitting that number doesn't have to be hard. Simple swaps are your best friend here. Maybe start your day with some oatmeal, switch to whole wheat bread for your sandwiches, or just toss some lentils or black beans into a super salad. These are all super easy, fantastic sources you can find anywhere. And of course, we can't talk about fiber without talking about fruits and veggies. This is where things get really colorful and tasty. Think about loading up on things like spinach and carrots. Oh, and here's a big one. When you eat an apple, leave the skin on. That's where a lot of the good stuff is. Right, bananas, kiwis, they're all amazing choices to help you get there. Okay, but wait. Here is a super important pro tip. If you're not eating a lot of fiber right now, please don't just jump from 0 to 30 grams overnight. Your body needs a minute to get used to it. So just add it in gradually over a week or 2. That'll help you avoid any of that, uncomfortable bloating or gas. All right, that brings us to pillar number 2, water. This one is fiber's absolute best friend. They work together. So if fiber is the scavenger sweeping things out, water is what makes the whole process, well, a lot smoother. Here's how to think about it. Fiber adds bulk, which is what we want, right? But if you don't have enough water, that bulk just turns into, well, a brick. It can actually make things worse. Water soaks into that fiber and softens everything up, making it easy to pass. They're a total dynamic duo. You absolutely need both. And yep, just like with fiber, we've got a target number for you. You want to aim for about 1.5 to 2 liters of water a day. That's roughly 6 to 8 glasses. It's such a simple goal, but believe me, it makes a massive difference. And don't forget, you don't have to just chug plain water all day. You can eat your water too. Foods that are packed with water, think watermelon, cucumber, oranges, they all count toward your daily total. Even things like soups or congee are a fantastic way to sneak in some extra hydration. Okay, time for pillar number 3, probiotics. So we've covered the plumbing, let's say. Now let's talk about the actual environment inside your gut. Getting those good, friendly bacteria in there is a total game changer, not just for now, but for your long-term digestive health. So where do you find these little helpers? Well, yogurt is the classic go-to for sure, but don't sleep on other fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, or even miso. They're all packed with good stuff to help balance things out in there. And of course, if you want to make it super simple, probiotic supplements are always an option too. Okay, pillar number 4 might actually surprise you a little bit. We're talking about healthy fats. I know. For years we were told to avoid fat. But the right kinds of fat are your friends here. They act like a natural lubricant for your system, just making it that much easier for everything to slide on through. And I've got a really simple little ritual you can try. First thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, just take 1 small spoonful of good quality olive oil. It's kind of an old school remedy, but a lot of people swear by it for just getting things going for the day. And finally, that brings us to our 5th and final pillar,
lifestyle habits. Because look, your diet is absolutely crucial, but for real lasting relief, it's about more than just what's on your plate. Your daily routines, they play a massive part in all this. So let's look at this balance here. On one side, we've got the things you want to do more of. Try to set a regular time for the toilet each day. Your body really does love a routine. And get moving. A simple walk, a little yoga, it all helps. On the other side, things to maybe cut back on. Fried foods, a ton of fast food, even things like white bread, they can just slow the whole system down. So let's do a super quick recap. Here's your 5-point action plan. Number 1, aim for 25 to 30 grams of fiber. Number 2, drink 1.5 to 2 liters of water. 3, add in some probiotic foods. 4, use those healthy fats like olive oil. And 5, adopt those helpful daily habits. See, it's a complete plan that looks at the whole picture. And that really brings us to the most important part. Looking at this whole plan, you don't have to tackle everything at once. That's overwhelming. Just pick one thing. So what's it going to be? Which one small step are you going to start with today to get things moving in the right direction?